Welcome back to the world of Arklands. We return today to a story from the Vault of Dreams, a story by the name of Starfall. When we last left our heroes...
You hesitated.
I did, intentionally. A few disparate stories began to come together. With strange events occurring on the eastern coast of Mire. And so we return to Searsport, where a elderly wizard and an intriguing human have ascended to the top of Arya's monument. So, Cole Tama and Araceli. Cole, you take her through the teleportation circle back to the living quarters of the Oracle, the Eye of Arya.
As we approach, it's just like covered by a curtain, basically, right? That room. As we approach the curtain, I turn to Araceli. Remember our deal. You don't tell anyone what you're about to see.
Agreed.
Hope you have a strong stomach.
I do.
And I'll push the curtain back and lead her through.
You enter the room to see it covered in scorch marks. Had you done anything with the Oracle's body? Or is it still sitting?
I laid it down flat. Laid her down flat on her back. And just folded her hands on her chest like that. Just very, very... giving her some sort of dignity and peacefulness.
Yeah. Then you see, with burned marks around her eyes, the person that you have apparently been sent here to find.
You've already investigated this room and found the cause?
I have. I don't understand it, though.
What have you deduced happened here?
From what I can see, she was divining. As oracles are known to do. And she was divining into the future. And then, well, judging by the trajectory of the scorch marks, fire shot out of her eyes. And it killed her.
What is your passive perception?
27.
27. You, upon looking around the room, upon looking at where Koltama indicated that the Oracle was divining, noticed something familiar. On the small altar that she used to divine, to see into the future, you see a star chart, very similar to the one that you use for your druidic magic.
Interesting. I'm gonna go over and see if there is anything circled or annotated or anything.
Yeah, upon a glance you can see it's not so much this specific star chart appears to be one that can be altered and moved in order to represent dates.
Okay.
And dates and possibly even specific times, depending on where the stars are in the sky. And you know that you can tell, even at a glance, this one is set for within a day or two.
Past or present?
Future.
Future. Given my general knowledge of stars and star charts, would I be able to discern that it's the same date, which Amy does not remember, the same date that was on the journal that he found?
Would you have shared that information at this point?
No.
Would I be able to discern what the date is?
Yes.
Okay.
So go ahead and make a wisdom check.
Wisdom check?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. I am actually going to use my Cosmic Omen and add a d6 to whatever this check is.
All right.
Because I have to decide that ahead of time. And I have the wheel, because I rolled an even number.
Circle of stars, let's
Circle of
go!
stars. So as Araceli starts peering over the star chart, you see, as her hands kind of touch it, you have a high enough perception, insight, investigation, whatever, to be able to see...
Passive's 25.
Yeah, you have enough to be able to see kind of these teal, aqua, markings along her hands that almost seem to follow like her veins, where her veins would be, start to glow as she looks over this.
What are you doing?
Discerning what date this star chart is set to. Investigation. Oh, that's a natural 20.
Oh!
It's just a wisdom check.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wisdom check, so that is a 29.
29. Yeah, I will say, you don't just get the date, you get the exact time that it is set to. It is set to the 21st, with the current day being the 19th. Specifically...
21st of what month?
Of Hala. The first month of the year.
Mm-hmm. Time?
Roughly... somewhere around... I wouldn't know the exact timing, but you can tell that it is dusk. Sunset, specifically. Which would be probably around 5 or 6, considering it's very early
sundown.
Spring. Yeah. The moment of sundown, with a natural 20 for a total of 29.
Yeah.
It is the... You have a little bit of experience with this. You use your own star chart as a focus for some of your spells.
Mm-hmm. Hers is embedded in the diamond of her shield.
Yeah. And it can take many different forms. But this specifically, there is something powerful about the first moment after the sun passes over the horizon. When the stars, for the first time, are in their full glory during the night. And that is the moment that this is set to.
I convey that. So whatever is going to happen on Hollow the 21st, the moment of sunset, it's a time of power, of change in the world. So, can I discern? This Arklands is flat, so it doesn't give a specific location, because everything would be pretty much the same.
Yeah. So no, you wouldn't have any location.
Why must you ignore the roundness and the security that round provides me?
Did you come up with Flat Earth Arklands before or after I made a scientist character?
Before.
I don't believe you.
It's been flat from the very beginning.
Yeah. And it
It was
annoys
invented
me.
flat.
Designed the entire zodiac system around it being flat. Annoys me.
How?
The stars are literally alive.
The stars move, so
Stars, sky's haunted.
yes.
Basically.
Sky is a projection.
Sky's...
You're not entirely wrong.
Sky is a projection. Sky's not real.
Sky's not really all.
Conspiracy theory.
If you believe in the sky.
Exactly.
You believe in the moon.
So, from there, and the realizations as you look towards the Oracle's body, scroll in hand.
Oh, did they give it to me?
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
you were returning from the Scrivener's Guild
Yeah.
when you encountered Araceli.
We need to figure out what's going to happen on the 21st at sundown.
But from there, we return to our third character.
Oh.
You need a little bit of
Okay, all right,
lightheartedness.
Love you, buddy, but Tony's gotta go. I have the utmost respect for Tony Bones.
He's already broken, so.
This is true. Yes, I've returned.
Yes.
What up?
I didn't know you put him in the box.
I did. He had no legs. That's the only way I could keep him up.
I just wasn't expecting the bottom.
Yeah.
Burke, you have left the fort. You have left Tepic. You are currently on your way east, heading towards the city of Searsport.
I thought that was north.
Northeast.
Northeast.
Okay. I accept this.
All the compass directions are one letter off in this universe.
It's because it's flat.
North is actually directly west in our world?
Yes.
You believe in north?
Actually, north just points to the center of Arklands.
No one tells Knuckles which way
This
is
is why
north.
you can't have a flat
not do
earth
it?
tray, because things don't make sense.
Magic.
Science is messed up now.
Magic.
But in your haste, once Donnie's body was placed, ready to be tended, you got underway without checking most things. And as you were walking, you've probably been walking for a few hours at this point. And go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh, okay. That is a... Let me get my character sheet up. Perception is... Oh, that's pretty good. That's 26.
26. You notice something almost crinkling as you move.
Crinkling? Like, in my, very hollow set of armor?
Yeah.
I gotta feel around.
And you find
Wow, look at that! I get props today, guys!
Wow.
Everybody gets some. You get some.
What do I find? I don't know how to
Death
break these seals.
you just
I'm
pull it, you
ripping
pull
the
it.
paper.
You pull it.
I'm trying not to rip the paper. This is like trying to open
You
up
need a
like
knife?
a... No, I don't need a knife. Thank you. I'm good. Fine. Let's see. Should I read this out loud for the class?
If you want. You don't have to.
Constantine Burke, through my power, you have been returned to this plane, but your time is limited. While you have been given the strength and opportunity for your vengeance, you will not be able to do it alone. I have an acolyte by the name of Quill who lives on the outskirts of Searsport. Seek him out, and he will be able to help you. I wish you luck.
An acolyte named who?
Quill.
Quill. Okay.
Like, quill and pen. Like
Right.
that kind. Or quill and ink, that's what it is. Yeah. Quill is a pen. Yeah, I know stuff.
One out, though.
Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna go find Quill. So...
Fair.
How far is Searsport from here?
I would have to double check that, because I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head.
Because, like, if it's more than, like, a day's walk or something like that, like, I'm going to, instead of just straight up walking out of the city like a dumbass, which I am, but I'm a smart dumbass, so I'm going to try and find transportation.
Okay. What kind of transportation might you be looking for?
Whatever is fast.
I mean, there are horses and wagons and that kind of stuff.
That's probably, like, the go-to. I mean, I'm not like...
Oh, wait, no, it is north. My bad.
Yeah.
I misremembered where Tepic was.
Lots of planets have a north.
Yep. So, yeah, I'm gonna... I guess, do you want me to roll an investigation?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay, perception. That's good, because that's better.
See what options there
That's 22.
A 22. Alright. Let me look up what the actual distance is real quick. Load up like 3 things to look at that. It's fine. The distance between the two of them is a little over 100 miles.
Okay, yeah, I can't walk that. That takes like 10
you
days.
don't sleep and you don't get tired.
Yeah, but okay,
Can't
even
pull a
if I
muscle, you
walk
don't have
20
muscles.
if I walk
Can you summon a horse?
walking speed is like 3 to 4 miles per hour, so that would take me literally like 25 to 30 hours for me to get from one place to another.
I would walk 500 miles.
Yeah, but I wouldn't.
At a fast pace, you can go 30 miles a day. So it would take a little over 3 days.
But that's assuming that you sleep and stuff like that.
That is true.
And I don't have to.
That's
do not
8
want to.
hours. So that at a fast pace, going 30 miles in 8 hours.
You can double that.
Triple
No,
that.
that's a
You're walking nonstop in a 24-hour day.
yeah.
Oh, that's
You
true.
can get there in a little over a day.
Or I can make someone give me their stuff, and I can ride a horse in less time.
Well, I mean, the horse will have to stop and rest.
That's
You
true.
can't push the horse for a full 24-hour period.
How fast do horses go?
Not that much faster. Also, don't you have?
Can you summon a horse?
I don't know.
I
Try
think-
and summon a horse.
I think like
Do I prepare my spells at this point?
sure.
Or do I? Okay.
Yeah, find Steve. Second level spell.
And lo, I saw a pale horse, and the rider's name was Burke.
Please, that horse would be pitch black.
Actually,
Pitch black skeleton horse. Like the Lego ones.
Remember that
Lego
Red
one's
Dead
being
Redemption
white.
zombie DLC where you can get a flaming horse?
I haven't played that game.
Oh, it's good.
I've played that game and I don't know. Very briefly.
yeah. So
It's,
you have access to new skills,
Arvak.
Yeah.
Summon Arvak.
and as you are thinking about transportation, there's a element of instinct to your new spellcasting, and yeah, so you can prepare Find Steed if you would like.
Ugh, and it's a spirit that assumes a form. So that means it's dead like me.
What do you summon?
I'm gonna summon a horse.
Okay,
I'm boring.
You summon a horse. It's funny. You assume, looking at your skeletal hand, as you reach forward, to bring forth, and you see the shadows from around you begin to coalesce, taking shape and form in front of you, silently. You assume it will be something akin to yourself, skeletal, terrifying.
Yes. I like this aesthetic.
What ends up being summoned surprises you.
I don't like this aesthetic.
As, sure enough, a pale steed.
Wow,
soft-
it is a pale steed, and my name is Death. I'm gonna go fuck up a god.
Mora's is, anyway.
This is true.
You have summoned Death's horse.
Wow, I got Moore's personal steed?
At least the image of it.
Wow, that's cool. I like that.
He's generous.
Cool. Well,
As the pale steed before you is very... Even its footsteps are unnaturally soft. As it... in front of you. And it's a very quiet presence. It's almost
stealth.
unnerving.
I'm a freaking skeleton, dude. I can't be a whole lot more unnerved.
You're not wrong, but you've also only been a skeleton for less than a day.
Yes, this is true.
So you still have a
So
lot of human emotions.
I'm still currently unnerved from myself. So yeah.
But sure enough, you were able to hop onto the horse, no problem. You feel a bond with it, connected to your oath, to your magic, and you set off. How fast?
As fast as I can. I'm a man on a
How
mission.
fast can the horse go? It uses its stats, I assume.
Probably
Does it
war
give
horse.
me?
Riding horse, I think, is faster.
Look at my horse. My horse is amazing.
Yeah, I know that video, and also I wish I could forget that video.
A war horse is 60 feet.
Okay.
So I think it's about the same as a riding horse.
Okay, so it's twice my speed. So if I can get there in a day, you can get there in a half a day. So I can get there by nightfall, basically.
Yeah, give or take.
So I'm gonna bang on Quill's door at like 2 a.m. and be like, "Yo, get up! I need shit."
Yeah, I will say, you spur your steed into a very fast pace, and it's very strange. This just as it's galloping, barely a sound against the dirt road.
Oh, that's so cool. I have a stealth horse.
He's whistling.
This is so cool.
He's whistling because the armor is empty. So just
I love that.
You do pass by someone who's like set up a camp, and they just go absolutely wide-eyed as you go past. I gotta stop drinking.
Gotta lay off those drugs, man.
But yeah, easy enough. You get there in by nightfall.
Who lives on the outskirts of Searsport. I have not been given a address.
Well, you get the sense, your magic, your abilities, everything so far has been innate.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do?
Let me see what other spells I can prepare to maybe... Oh, look at this! I already have Locate Creature prepared! Where's Quill?
What is the range on that?
I don't know, like 1,000 feet, I think. Oh, yeah, it's only 1,000 feet.
Well,
1,000 feet's pretty far.
That's
1,000
not
feet
that
is-
far. That's like a football field. That is actually like a football field.
Yeah, so you begin to see the city of Searsport as you begin to approach. What I do believe that when you cast Locate Creature, how long does it last?
Shoot. It lasts
Lasts an hour. So I rule it as if you cast it looking for someone specific, you get a ping if they ever enter your range.
Yeah.
While it's up for that hour.
Yeah. So I'm just going to be riding around the outskirts.
So you cast it as soon as Searsport comes into view. And you're following the road north to the city.
Mm-hmm.
You see the city laid out, the massive statue of Arya, the Queen of Night. As it is the evening of the 19th. And as you get closer and closer,
Cool. I have a ping. Let me go in that direction.
yeah, you immediately veer off the road and arrive at a relatively small abode, definitely for a single person. There's some lights flickering inside, most likely candlelight.
I'm going to hop off my steed, walk up to the door, and knock.
Will, if you would like to join us at the table.
I like that Will named his guy Quill.
I'm back.
Well, my
Surprise.
understanding, would you look in my computer? Would you hand me my computer back? Careful not to hit any of the pools.
Yes, please don't mess up all my camera things. I am too comfy to move. Actually, that's not true. I am just immobile.
Alright, in the bag there should be a small notebook.
We are very professional and prepared. Da 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 da.
Didn't you want this to be as unprofessional as possible?
I didn't say I wanted it to be as unprofessional as possible. I said I gave up on being
I
professional.
need my notes.
If I wanted to be as unprofessional as possible, trust me, this would be way worse.
It's a bunch of Logitech webcams.
Yeah.
So,
Which would all see each other, by the way.
Yeah.
Quill Corel running.
That's too much. I'm sorry. Quill.
You have had a quiet day. Simple, making food for yourself. What do you think you would have gotten up to?
Throughout the day,
Mm-hmm.
I imagine, especially if it was a quiet day, he would have gone to his favorite spot by a river, watched nature for a little bit, communed with Mora. Nothing outside of that. If he had any visitors, he would have made small talk, but yeah,
I
probably
think
making dinner.
someone came to you earlier in the day. Their kid got a pretty nasty cut on their knee, running around, and you're known to be willing to help.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume you would have tended to,
If I lay on hands, we're good.
closed up, ran off, and you're almost certain they'll be back by the end of the next day.
Yep. He's a repeat customer.
Oh, yeah. A small basket of bread left on your doorstep at one point, as thanks from one of the people you've helped. You're not sure which. But as night falls and you light a few candles in your house, there's a knock at your door. What do you do?
Being a paladin of God of Death, also with his experience, was cautious. I had thought of this before. I fully comprehended you were already undead, but I'm going to cast Divine Sense.
Okay.
See who's knocking, essentially.
Understood. So, what is the exact description of Divine Sense?
As an action, you can detect good and evil. Until the end of your next turn, you can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial, fiend, undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. You can use this feature 7 times per long rest.
Well, you would know that being behind the door would mean total cover.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Well, he shan't do that then. But he will hold that in reserve. He'll probably do it. He'll walk up to the door.
Yeah.
Have his hammer ready, but essentially open it up.
All right. And if you cast it as you open the door,
Yep.
you immediately get a ping for undead directly in front of you.
And what do you look like?
Oh, you just see a suit of armor, basically, in front of you.
A suit of armor. Go ahead and make a religion check.
Yep. This suit of armor, by the way, is like completely covering every facet of his being.
13.
13. For you, that is enough to immediately recognize Mora's colors. Certain knights and acolytes of Mora will have what is known as Blackwood as their weapon and armor. And those that don't literally have Blackwood will often paint or style their armor in that. And that is exactly what stands before you.
The tunic I have over my armor is black. So,
Okay. Yep.
all right. Yes. How can I help you?
Mora sent me. You said you could help.
I'm gonna need more to go on than just that because you wear the colors of Mora, but you smell undead and look undead. If I'm being honest.
Well, honestly, you'd only be able to see like a slit for his eye, so you probably wouldn't even be able
So
to see
divine sense, I'm thinking it's more like he sees an outline over, and so that's what he's saying. Look undead.
So I'm gonna remove my helmet then.
Bare, scorched black skull.
What kind of help do you need?
Whatever kind you can give me to kill a god.
He's mourning silently the loss of his silent day. Quiet day. Tell me this. Answer one question, and I'm at your service. Tell me about the nature of Mora.
He is death.
What is death? The villain or the hero? The lover of death or the preserver of life?
You mean, is Mora the lover of death or preserver of life?
Yes.
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
What oath do you serve under?
Vengeance.
You can go ahead and make an insight check if you'd like.
I shall do that.
I guess I'm...
Natural 20.
Do I still have to roll
Um,
persuasion or deception?
go ahead and just make a charisma check.
Okay. That's, what's my charisma? I think it's +4. So, 14.
14. Yeah, so you you look at him and you've heard tale of creatures known as revenants, where a person's conviction ties them to the mortal plane. These creatures do not last very long, but they are nigh unkillable while they do exist, as they will always know the subject of their fury, where they are, and until either that target is killed or 1 year passes. Once either of those are met, they cease to be.
Well, so
But I will
looks...
also say
Oh, yes.
While he does register as undead to your divine sense, your divine power comes from the spirit of death. And you do recognize Mora's power coursing throughout.
Well, you have Mora's handiwork written in every iota of your being, and you do not lie. So, come in.
I will step in, and I will put my helmet back on.
And he goes, and for the record, the answer is neither. He is not lover of death, nor preserver of life. But, take a seat.
And as you go in and enter, we'll return to our two investigators.
We're flopping back and forth. I know what I want to do.
All right.
I would like to, as a ritual, cast Divination.
Okay.
Sit down with my shield in my lap.
Got it.
It's alright.
What are you trying to see?
I'm going to ask Duradros.
Ask him what exactly?
Trying to decide if it's more important for us to know what will happen on the 21st of Hala at the moment of sunset, or where it will happen.
I've beat you to the first one. I cast my stones earlier to see if divining on that day would be a good idea. Whoa.
Alright.
And from what you saw on the star chart, that was the last day she saw.
So, there's no notes of hers that you found that will indicate if there was a specific location tied to whatever she saw.
No location.
Because
Go ahead and make a wisdom check.
okay. Uh, 25.
25.
What'd you roll on the die?
18.
Dang.
You have a +7 to wisdom?
Yes, we've been over this.
I forgot about that.
She went through her
Excellent.
build in the chat. It was awesome.
Yeah.
With a 25, if viewing the event directly is what caused what happened before you, asking questions could be dangerous, at least through the sense of divination. Though, thankfully, divination doesn't let you see directly. You ask a question.
I'm asking Duradros
Right, or
a direct,
one of his
specific question.
Additionally, it's possible that if she did see something or knows anything more, she died before she had the chance to write it down, because it seems that immediately from whatever she saw, that was what killed her.
If you'd like to be a bit more direct and ask her, two acolytes who work here acquired me a scroll of Speak with Dead. It's not going to be pleasant, but I have to know what she saw. And from the sound of it, you have an interest as well.
I do. My concern is whatever it was she saw, it's a significant enough event to have burned her from the inside. Her spirit could not handle the significance of the information that she gleaned. And from my family history, would I know the effects of other significant events that have taken place in Arklands over the past 1,000 years. Or, not 1,000 years, but over the past few centuries.
Go ahead and make a history check.
I'm not good at that. I'm gonna use another wheel.
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 Wheel, wheel, wheel,
That's my
wheel.
name. Don't wear it out.
No, not queel. Wheel.
Yeah. Ooh.
Nice.
No.
That's right.
Wheel.
Different dialect.
Alright. So that is 16 plus 2. 18 total.
18 total. So what specifically are you asking?
I am trying to figure out if events like the invasion of the Army of Light or Cassandra's battle would have been large enough to have impacted the world, if other diviners would have experienced similar outcomes
I'll say this.
surrounding those events.
Something like this happening, dying from the result of a vision, unheard of. You do know, within 18, and your family history, during the Dark Age,
Okay.
and during the invasion of the Army of Light, certain things were blocked or unseeable. That's about all the information you have, though.
Okay.
Your Duradras is not one for foresight as much.
Yeah. I'm essentially trying to discern if this event, whatever it is that's supposed to happen on the 21st, is going to be something we can handle from our current location in Searsport, if it's an evacuate the city in
Well,
process of this event,
you have
or
a
if it's
very elderly elven companion.
Yeah.
With your passive wisdom alone, an elf that old, a divination wizard that old. Maybe he can answer a question that your history can't.
My family has ties to significant events of Arklands dating back centuries.
So you've mentioned.
Never, at least from my recollection, which history is not my strong suit, has there been a diviner that has died while divining. But during the Dark Age, especially, after Miranova's death, there were certain things that were blocked from divining. And that's one of the reasons I've been told things fell into a Dark Age. There's no hope for anything. No one can see beyond what's going to happen. And so, if there's anything you can recall that might indicate, as a divination wizard, if what the Oracle saw indicated a world-affecting event, something that we will need to deal with in Searsport, or if I can contact Duradras to see if he provides any insight. He's not best at divination, but protecting is something he can do. The location to defend from this event will be somewhere other than here, or somewhere better. Or if that's a question we could ask the Oracle herself directly first. If she cannot give an answer, perhaps Duradras can.
You say the words Miranova's death. And from that point on, there's this sort of far away look that he gets. And when he realizes you stop talking, he kind of comes back to his senses. And he looks at you. How old do I look?
I don't know, how old does he look?
Pretty high wisdom.
Old.
I'm familiar enough with elves.
You've never seen an elf with wrinkles before.
Never seen an elf with wrinkles before. In your last centuries, I assume. 700s?
I don't think I look that old. I'm 636.
I have no concept for elves, so you could have told me 500 or 1,000, and I'd probably think that looks about right.
Oh, 1,000's very old.
Yes, I know.
750 is just the upper average, I'd say. But to answer your question, and to save you from the ramblings of an old man, during the Dark Ages, you couldn't divine. It didn't work. It wasn't that something was blocked, or that you flat out couldn't see past a specific date. It just didn't work. You could see a week out, tops. And that lasted for 250 years. Give or take. As for seeing up to a certain date, but not being able to see past that, not unheard of. But we're going to get better answers out of her.
All right.
Because this wasn't daily divination. She was looking for something specific, from what the Acolytes here have told me. But the only things I was able to recover in her journal are scattered. They don't paint a complete picture.
Interesting.
This isn't going to be pleasant.
That's all right. I've seen many unpleasant things.
Not this. And I will kneel next to Rachel's body. And I will unfurl the scroll of Speak with Dead. Does it have any kind of verbal component? I'll speak its incantation.
Let me look that up real quick.
Material components don't matter when you have the
spell
scroll.
scroll,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
One action. It does have a verbal. Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
I'm going to give you a wheel. So add a d6.
Thank you. Let me get one.
Because you do have
Using those up very quickly today.
Will we get a long rest? Maybe not. That's a natural 1.
Oh, buddy.
Who are you talking to?
What can I do for an inspiration like right now?
All right, so there's bargaining.
That's right.
That sucks.
There's grief.
With a 2, it's a 3.
There's denial.
Because of the Damn it.
There's anger.
Oh, this would happen to me.
And
There's acceptance. Was that last one
Did we miss
intentional?
any? Did we miss any?
No, that's
I
all
don't
fine.
think so.
All right.
Was that last one intentional?
Sure.
Can I have an inspiration for that I can give him?
Go ahead and reroll.
Thank you. You're the best. I'm going to roll this.
This is going to be another
I'm
nat
giving you
1.
help. I'm looking over his shoulder.
I promise you, this is another nat 1.
That's right.
Watch,
He
watch.
can't read very well. His eyesight's going.
Make it.
Or maybe it's just me.
That's another natural 1.
I fucking told you!
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get an inspiration and you use it immediately.
That's true. The
It is
exact same
It
thing
is the
happened.
rule. It is the
It's a-
rule
got a
of
pattern.
D&D. It's happened to me twice. Now it's you. This is.
It's a
Three times is a pattern.
Yep.
It's another natural one. Okay, I gotta respect that.
Respect.
The gods
Listen,
decided
if
no.
there aren't consequences, it makes the good things less impactful.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm sorry, Rachel is not home right now. Please leave a message.
There's an
The
aspect.
body you were trying to reach is unavailable.
There's an aspect of what has happened to Rachel that while you know you should do this, and you might even have to do this, you really don't want to. And so as you read out the spell scroll, it should be simple. This is only a 3rd level spell, but you hesitate just enough as you're reading and just focus back in, but it isn't enough as the scroll burns away in your hands. Uncast.
She's been through enough. I'll have to pay them back for the scroll.
I'm
But-
going to see if Durdros can give any insight to this.
Be very careful.
I will. I'm not looking at the event directly. At least I don't think so. But
I know, just be careful.
alright. I'm going to ritual cast Divination.
Out of curiosity, do you use your own star chart or hers?
I'll use my own. I mean, can I make an insight check to see if it'll be which one might work better?
It's not necessarily
Can you
better.
cast? You're a druid. Can you cast augury?
I don't have that prepared.
Okay.
Um,
Oh no, it's not. Okay.
but you do you use your star chart as what you're most familiar with.
Yeah.
But you do lay your shield
Lay my shield
on
in
her
my lap.
plinth, where she would have divined.
Yeah.
Makes it a little easier to focus on.
I was picturing her sitting crisscross applesauce on a mat or something.
Well, yeah, that's her plinth is like it's made for her to sit on the floor and then look at her star chart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sitting in front of it, but my shield is in my lap.
Yeah.
As it has
Fair.
been other times I've cast this spell.
Yeah, no problem. And as you focus and see the glimmering lights within the crystal of the shield shift and move, ask your question.
I have to figure out how to word this. Fellow guard, you have allowed me to come here. Something is going to happen on the 21st of Hala at the moment of sundown. Where would be the best place to defend the people of this world from this event?
You send up this prayer, and you focus, and there's a low rumble in your ears, like that of rolling thunder.
Is that...
Familiar, but not quite the same.
Okay.
But words do enter your mind.
Okay.
The defense of this world must be held at dawn. That is the answer you get.
Thank you. The defense of this world must be held at dawn.
Of this world.
Technically, what I asked, yes. I made the assumption that whatever it was that the Oracle saw, that was enough to kill her in the process of seeing it, must be some kind of cataclysm that, I mean, Duradros is a god, is a ancestor of not explicitly protection, but defense and courage and valor. So I asked a question that will be related to that, because I figured it'd be more of an answer you'd be willing to give me. So, defense of the world must be held at dawn. So I asked for a specific location. Where would be the best place to defend?
I don't think it matters. If he didn't tell you now, and he said specifically, defending the world, then either we will somehow wind up to where we're supposed to go, or it doesn't matter.
Go ahead and make... I would allow a Arcana check.
You sure you want me to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Almost. That's a 19.
19. You are familiar with the spell Divination. And you know that the answer given by necessity of the spell is often given in a cryptic message. There is very often more to what is said than what first appears.
Held at dawn.
Is that, I asked for a location, not a time.
You did.
Could assume dawn is a location.
Place.
Not one I'm familiar with.
I'm not there, otherwise I'd voice my opinion.
But I think while the two of you mull that over, we will go back
Oh yes, we'll
to our other two.
Scene swipe!
Yep.
And
And I will say, these are happening at roughly the same time. It is about sundown for you two as well. But as two paladins of seemingly opposing oaths.
Oh, definitely.
How would your armor look like?
My armor? I actually have a Hero Forge. I'll show you, but it's like real heavy, like plate armor. The like very small slits for the eyes. Looks very like kind of beefy. I was a city guard, so I was like guarding a fort, I'm ready to get hit with something big.
Yeah,
You
you're
thick.
the first one to get, yeah.
Yeah.
And could I tell your race when you took off your helmet?
Oh no, there's
okay.
no. I am
I knew it
literally
was charred. I know I was like, oh, maybe I see the point.
the
of
guy
or
that was
something.
sitting in my chair. That's what I look like.
Literally, and,
Yeah.
and his skull was, you could tell, you have a decent amount of experience with dead bodies, with healing, with all that kind of stuff. There was no remnant of, often with undead creatures, which you have a lot of familiarity with, there is, rotting flesh or something left over, whether it be hair or, it's not typically clean when it's done that way. What you saw when Burke took off his helmet was just a stark, just burned away, and the bone itself was charred black. It wasn't just blackened bone, it wasn't soot that could be wiped off, but the bone itself burnt to a point where it is permanently.
Someone tried to cremate me alive.
Yep.
Someone did cremate you alive.
Okay, yeah,
gonna say,
someone
there
was no-
cremated
there
me
was
alive.
There was no try.
Evolve.
You just didn't die.
Well, I
You
did.
did.
Oh,
I
did
did.
you die? I thought he was holding on. So like he died, but then he came back and was just holding on.
Yeah,
I'm thinking technicality wise. Okay, gotcha.
Oh no.
You see, so description of myself: more of a pale face, brown hair that, funny enough, like his name, is kind of sticking up a little bit. It's shorter hair, but it's sticking up. And bright, not shining on, kind of in the candlelight. You can see a little bit, as pale as the horse you are riding. Armor, heavy plate. It's got ornate shoulder designs. Black, I don't know what you call it, other than like a robe or something over top the chest, and then a white scarf, essentially, or something like that around his neck.
And you would notice that in a lot of ways there's very similar shared colors, where the black is almost tinged with this aura of white, and the white conversely tinged with this edging of black around.
And I don't know if you can tell the difference between Eladrin and Elf, but I'm essentially...
Eladrin is a type of elf.
Yeah, okay, so Elf. But yeah.
20 years. Which, I assume, winter?
Yep. Quiet day, he's winter for now. But he does still have his armor on. And so he'll let you in. Forgive me, but do you need food or drink?
I don't think I need anything from this world anymore.
Except vengeance.
I need that from one specific being.
Understood. Well, can I at least have your name? Mine's Quill, which you may already be familiar with.
Burke. I'll shake your hand.
Pleasure to meet you. You have the armor on, right? So it's not like I can
No,
feel
you're
like the
yeah.
bones. Okay.
You're,
Does Divine Sense tell you of where Celestials are? Oh, actually, no, it does tell you Hallowed. So I will say, now that he's entered it, there's a lingering remnant. You can tell that there is something on him that has... it's not quite hallowed, but it is essentially touched by the divine. And you just get this sense of that the same way that you get the sense of him being undead.
Gotcha. Okay. Burke, pleasure. Does this oath you've sworn have anything to do with the god you're seeking vengeance for?
it is the only thing.
Assume so. It's good clarification if I'm to join you on this. How big's our party?
You and me. Or just me.
Ah. Mora helped me. So, you and I don't back out if you were summoned by Mora, nor will I turn away from a fellow paladin. So should you and I, do we have a timetable?
As soon as possible. He is moving. Because I did sense that he is in Searsport, or he was
You
going
can
toward
sense the give me just one moment.
Because I kind of know where he is.
You can sense the location, or that rather the distance and direction to the spear.
Okay.
And you would know that the spear is currently within a few miles within the city.
Okay, it's within the city. Okay. I believe my target is in the city.
Searsport. That's convenient. Did Mora give any instructions to pick up anyone else by chance?
Just you.
Alright. Well, I've lived long enough. We'll go grab his pack. And he's like, give me 5 minutes and I'll be ready to go. And on the way, you can tell me this story of yours.
I'd rather not.
Wasn't asking.
All right. With that being
Have a
said-
little sensitivity. It only happened one day ago.
He doesn't know
Not
that.
even!
he doesn't know that.
It's a few hours, man.
That's right. Doesn't
like
know.
12 hours ago.
This happened like
And
this
he
morning!
doesn't. He literally does not have any recollection because, like you said, like he couldn't tell anything by the body. It was literally like scored bones. He was like,
and you would have walked for a few hours first, so it probably happened because it happened when your shift would have started, when at like midnight, and then you don't know how long passed before you came back. So it probably would have happened roughly 16 to 18 hours ago is when you died.
Yeah, so it happened this morning!
And he'll also say, "You said God, not goddess."
I was told God.
Okay, good. That's good. And yeah, then he'll grab his back and say, "All right."
You can make an insight check if you'd like.
Amy wants to make an insight check on
Too
Will.
bad you're not there.
Insight, that's a 27, I think?
27.
Yep, 27.
Night.
So you just, I'll say this.
Yeah.
There's a sense of a history.
I will not pry. That's not my business. I got one job, man.
He appreciates that. He's like, if I'm walking the death, I want a story along the way.
So what do you share? Because I get the feeling that he's not going to let up.
So he will essentially be like, trust me, I've walked in the city many times. We have a good ways to go. And I've had a rather quiet day, so
Well, it can stay quiet.
it's far too late for that. If an undead paladin seeking the oath of vengeance knocks on my door with a letter from my god as well.
I was just a man.
I'm not trying to get you to accept your fate, move on to the better. No, you have an oath. I will respect that and I will help you fulfill it. All I am is just curious. I don't get talked to undead often. Normally I'm trying to bash their faces in, so.
Make a persuasion check, I guess.
Bet. And I will.
You best roll high, man.
Natural 20.
Verified.
All right, I guess the
And
dice
that
want
is
a story.
That is a 32 total.
Damn. Okay.
Nice.
I was
Well,
like,
we'll try to
I'll
get
set
that
the
switched
DC
around for
high,
you.
be like 20 or something like that. Okay. All right.
The dice love a good story.
They do.
Plus
They
6.
do.
I have an item I am 100% sure that Trey made, which is called a luck stone. Or a luck-
No,
no.
actually.
You did not make that?
I also have a lucky stone.
It gives +1 to all ability saves and skills.
Yep.
Yep.
I want that. I want that
And it's
for
only
every
uncommon.
campaign.
I was gonna say
That's great.
yes.
It's uncommon?
It is.
Well, I mean, Gloves of Thievery, which gives you a +5 to sleight of hand checks, are also uncommon.
Should have taken that.
Oh, yeah.
A stupid pearl of power over here because I need to cast Revivify.
Oh, yeah. My ability saving score for charisma, plus 18.
Dang, I think that's higher than dang. All right.
Yep, I'm quite proud of it.
Whew.
Anyways, I get you to talk.
Yeah.
You said, all right, a man before the skeleton.
I was a guard in my fort, and as I was returning for a shift, we were attacked by this god. A large metal creature, about twice my size, in the shape of a man. Incinerated everyone in sight.
How long have you been chasing this metal god?
What time is it today?
About midway through the night.
Yeah, it's like 7 p.m.
Oh. Well, Gimming is just about to
About
set.
20 hours or so.
At this, he realizes the abruptness of his question. My condolences. So, you are freshly on the pursuit. And more came to you this morning as you, what I assume to be, lay burning.
After I was burned, I came back like this. Last thing I saw, never mind. Mora gave me the chance for vengeance.
And decided to give you my number.
Apparently.
Alright.
You can go ahead and make a religion check if you'd like.
That is a 19.
19. There's no specific bells
Well-
being rung.
Sorry, 16.
16. Yeah. No specific bells being rung as to what he's described. But you do know that when the gods take form on the material plane, due to the laws of light, which were set in place at the end of the first age, they are severely weakened from the state that they have in their own domains. And as a result, they have typically a handful of forms that they can take. These forms can be things other than celestials. For instance, off the top of my head, I think one of the forms of Kukanal that he takes is, technically speaking, a beast, even though it is him, Kukanal, the god of
Like
the
how
wild.
mythology with Greek gods. Gotcha.
Right. And yeah, so this was likely, from his description, a form of a god in that way.
Well. Do you have the exact location, or do we have a search force to go in the city?
I can sense his presence, or that of the weapon he stole.
Alright.
It's a spear in the shape of a dragon. I don't know if that means anything to you. I never really knew what it was that we guarded.
You can either make a history or religion check if you'd like.
I'm definitely doing religion. That's an one.
No.
He don't
Never heard
know.
of it.
Yep.
He ain't know.
He's
Not
shaking
even.
his head already. He's like, no, I do not have much knowledge of dragons. But we are already brothers in terms of the God we swore oath to. So, now I will join you on this quest. I'm not an oath of vengeance, but
What's your passive perception?
What's your passive
18.
insight?
Oh, passive.
18.
Okay. Yeah. At the mention of brothers, like he goes kind of stiff.
You just
We're
hear
just saying something.
Yeah. My apologies. I do not mean to be insensitive. But if I'm going to fight a god, that is what we shall be.
He does not respond. He just looks forward, keeps walking.
And with that, we will return to our other set. With a bit of time to think between the two of you. Any ideas or avenues that you want to pursue that come to mind?
This is something... well, no. Where is the Temple of the Sun in relation to here?
Do you mean the Vault of the Sun?
Vault of the Sun, yeah.
Go ahead and make a religion check.
It's not actually on my screen. There we go. Did you see that?
Let me tell you, I'm staring at the one.
No, that's a 7.
That's a 7. I'm staring at the one.
Yeah, it's tempting me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 17 total.
17 total. You're not super familiar. Sona, the Sun Spirit, has never really been a massive point of interest, but you are familiar that her centers of worship are typically in Kinyavel, in honestly just on the other continent of Demira.
Mm-hmm.
And you have with a 17, yeah, that's what. But there are temples to her scattered. There are probably at least 1 or 2 in the city. Religion check of 17 though. Well, yeah, that's what you would know. There are. Her center of worship is. Her biggest temple would be in your homeland, the Corman provinces. But here in Searsport, there isn't a particularly notable temple to her.
Could be the Sun Goddess. That's really far from here. That's the, center of her worship is the other continent. We never make it in time.
Sorry, it took Amy a second to catch up with what was going on.
It's valid. It's a
Amy
mood.
is thinking about how Araceli is probably thinking that she's kind of craving a midnight taco. Some enchiladas. That'd be a good time. She's got an intelligence of 10.
You're getting hungry, I'm hungry.
Familiar with enchiladas? I really don't know. There are... How much would Araceli know about the Sun Spirit's relation to Dawn?
While the Sun Spirit is, obviously there's a natural connection that some people will draw, there's no specific iconography that link the two as far as you're aware. You can make a religion check, though.
That's cocked. That's a 17.
Yeah, 17.
Same thing.
Yeah, no,
She's no more related to the dawn than sundown.
It's a start.
It is a start.
I will say, though, with that question in mind, you can make a history check.
I'm worse at history than I am at religion.
The DC for you is lower.
It's 10.
10? Okay. There is a reminder that you have just in the back of your head. That, yeah, the Sun Spirit doesn't really have many connections to the Dawn. But you do know that that is the name of this age that's being given. It was unclear exactly when it would have been decided, but the fourth age was the age of mourning. The fifth, the one that you are nearing the end of, the age of the dawn.
It is said that I like the idea of tracking down a religious connection to Dawn. I think we're looking but the concept is so abstract. And it's said that Cassandra brought forth the age of the dawn. The age we're in now is the age of the dawn. I don't know if that has anything, but or if you know of any significant things from this age that could signify that connection. Would I know where any significant battles of Cassandra took place?
Go ahead and make a... Go ahead and make a history check.
Can I have it with advantage?
No,
Because
but I
of
have different things
reasons.
in mind depending on what you roll.
There's been enough bargaining at this table tonight.
Listen!
Shutting it down.
Problem is, it didn't work.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
That's
Well,
4.
it technically
4
did.
total?
For history?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 4 total.
Um.
Can I but my history.
Yes, I'm aware.
You can cosmic omen yourself, but
I have to
you'd
do
run
that
out.
before I roll.
No, you don't.
No, I do. It has to be before you roll. It specifies.
You can do it before you know the result of the roll.
Oh,
Is about to make an attack roll, saving throw, or ability check.
Okay.
So it has
So we
to be,
just technically play it wrong in the other campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently we do.
it has
Oh,
to
well.
be.
I'm nice with it.
Yeah.
It's called homebrewing.
Who said that?
I will. You know, I'll let you add it.
Of making it 10 might not make that much of a difference.
I'll say if you make it 10, you will get something.
oh,
All right, need
You've
a
increased
6.
your digits.
That's a 6.
Hey,
So it's 10.
there you go. All right, so with a
What
10,
Remember, everyone, cheat.
Remember, kids, bargaining works.
Don't forget to cheat all the time.
Should have brought you snacks.
Bribery is also a legitimate strategy.
Haven't been to Dollar Tree in a while.
they sell at 7-Eleven now.
I'll pull up Postmates.
With a 10 total. Those, yeah. Battles. The interesting thing about Cassandra is that she had a number of small scale conflicts that she traveled all around the world, helping in small ways in a lot of places. There weren't a lot of really big events outside of her confrontations with Mithra.
Okay.
When she fought alongside your ancestors, that was in defense against some local threats. However, you do remember that there was an offer on the table from her that they talked about It was a bit of a bragging, just like, yeah, and she even, after the fight, she even said that we were welcome to join her. This new thing she was making.
All right.
That's all the details that you have, though.
It's a bragging right of my grandparents' story from their grandparents. Something Cassandra was doing, making. Family was offered to join her. Again, it's a story, it's a bragging right, but somewhere outside of Keenavel. If you... I don't know, it'd be better for us to split up and search things separately, or... I'm not familiar with this city at all, but I can ask around. See if there's anything I can dig up on history. If you want to check religion, or we can swap. If I can check religious connections to the Dawn, and you can check historical locations to Dawn.
What exactly did, specifically, what was the answer you got again?
Defense of this world must be held at dawn. For the question of where would be the best place to defend the world from a cataclysmic event.
I know a guy with a spear.
Very pissed off skeleton.
Well, I have a halberd. I'm going to get that spear, though. I'm going to
for a
take that
spear.
spear, and I'm going to shove that spear.
Where the sun don't shine, gotcha.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. I mean... You don't think he'd be referring to the Age of Dawn, would you? That's too abstract.
Again, the term dawn is it's a very abstract concept, and as an answer to a direct, specific question of a location, that's why I'm thinking something to do with the entering of the Age of Dawn and relating to Cassandra, something she might have been doing, a significant place she went or defended or something. I'm thinking of it as Dawn with a capital D rather than the general symbol or literal dawn. Thinking of it as a marker, there's a temple of the dawn, a city called Dawn, or a monument to the dawn, to Dawn itself, something that was built at the start of this age, or in remembrance of something relating to Dawn that is just called Dawn. And he didn't say the dawn, it's just at dawn. I'm not familiar enough with history to put the pieces together. But we can track down a couple things. We're now coming up on the 20th.
Yeah.
Coming up
of a day.
quick.
$40 hours.
No pressure.
Yeah.
And you said Rachel's star chart. It was marked for dusk on the 21st, right?
A moment of sundown.
Dawn and sundown. if she couldn't see past that, then I can't think of anything where those would intersect.
Is there any deity divining you might be comfortable doing? I know you got a woe in looking to the event itself, but do you think you could divine? I can try Duradros again, but there's a chance that
I think I'm safe if I check tomorrow. But any time past that, I'm risking myself. I will see what
Not looking specifically at the event, but asking specifically about Dawn. Not because I asked for a location. That location may not specifically be tied just to this event. It could be something else. I'm just throwing out whatever I can think of at the moment. I can, if you would like to continue searching here, see if she wrote any notes down about Dawn. Specifically with a capital D. Annotating a location or something more specific than just the concept of it. I can start tracking down leads about perhaps the monuments of the sun or temples, other religious significance.
I will give this room one last look over. And if I should come up empty-handed, then I will try to divine on the nature of Dawn. Capital D. But in the meantime, Rachel didn't exactly talk to many people. She spent most of her time in here. But some of the Acolytes did have some idea of what she was working on. They might be familiar if there is a religious connection.
I will ask them. Where would they be?
Downstairs.
All right.
You don't have to look very far.
I will go downstairs and look
I'm
for
so
the
intrigued
Acolytes.
because I do not know where the heck you guys are. You're like talking about, I assumed you were in the plane. You're like downstairs. I'm like, oh no, they're in the
We're
building.
in the
They're in the statue.
We're in the statue too.
They're
yeah.
in the same room that y'all got your prophecy pictures.
Yeah. Different oracle.
There's a dead body there, apparently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Her eyes were burned out. It's crazy.
I heard that bit, yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of burning going around here.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's from the same source.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a note I'm
shit.
writing down. That's a note I'm writing down.
Hey, that's metagaming.
No, that's fine.
I was going to say, Quill would have put two and two together. Burned
Yeah,
husk,
would-
burned body,
Araceli
or...
being we haven't met the
too angry to die skeleton yet.
This is it. This is the connection we will all make upon
Local
this
man,
meeting.
too angry to die.
Yeah.
That's me.
Araceli being familiar with radiant more than fire, would she have recognized the scorch marks as
Make an
radiant
investigation
damage? Investigation?
You can make perception.
How do you spell Burke?
Burke.
Okay.
Hey, I got it right with the E.
Perception 27.
27. 100% radiant, not fire.
Amy knew that, but that's something. This is radiance, by the way. It's not a fire elemental magic, or it's not an elemental fire burn. It is celestial. Whether that is an ancestral base or not, can't discern, but it's that kind of energy. If it was fire, not that I'm particularly familiar with it, being from where I am, there would be less control. Elemental fire spreads. Radiance does not.
From a beam of light is what this burn would have come from.
I think you're right. Exactly how many people have you seen shoot radiant beams out of their eyes?
How many people have I seen shoot radiant beams out of their eyes, Trey?
0.
None. But
I would have hated to have missed something in 636 years.
Though the scorch marks do bear a certain resemblance to, not directly, but a little similar to castings of the spell Moonbeam or Sunbeam. Both leave a similar type of scorch mark.
Guiding bolts.
Yeah, we'll do the same.
Yeah. I am kind of let a little bit of the starlight, if we want to call it, kind of light up my fingertips. The energy I possess is... the energy I've learned to harness is celestial in nature, so I'm familiar with these kinds of scorches.
I forgot. We're going up against a god, and we got 3 people who just rely so heavily on radiant damage.
You don't know that.
You just said you had radiant.
You said 3 people. We don't know about the rest of y'all.
No, I'm saying like in general, like our party. Like,
Oh, yeah. I can do other things.
That's good because
Don't worry about it.
I'm
I prepared for this.
Okay.
How do I ask this question without giving away something?
You ask him in Discord is what you do.
Or you just ask it and give away something.
No. Maybe that's how you do it. That's not how I'm
It's
going
a
to
question
do it.
for whomst.
For the DM.
Oh, then ask in Discord.
Trying to keep the visual medium entertaining here.
That's right.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, I will.
We have enough experience to know not to metagame.
Well, it's the drama of it, you see.
I break the fourth wall
I'll
all the
probably
time.
know
I
what
don't
you
metagame.
are referring to if you're
I
vague.
keep hitting this. Asking it in as roundabout of a way as I can. Now that Cole understands that the scorch marks are from radiant damage, that they are divine in nature. Does the exact, I'm not sure what identifying characteristics there would be of a scorch mark from radiant damage versus fire damage, aside from just more control.
Also, the presence and lack of soot and a ignition agent.
So that would have matched the damage he saw.
Yep.
A very long time ago.
Yep.
Okay.
To a T.
Cool.
Does he know what I'm trying to kill?
Find out. So, as you go to find the Acolytes, what do you do?
He examines the he'll examine the scorch marks one more time. Just
Go ahead and make
just
an
to
investigation check.
kind of incorporate what we talked about. I can make another one for you if you'd like. And he's also going to because he found the journal pages before, but he's also going to double check any did he look through all of her journals, or
You looked through any that had been recently touched.
Okay.
Mostly skimmed through them.
Okay.
That she kept record of a lot of things, to the degree that most of it is likely just unrelated.
He will be a little more thorough this time, looking for through any journal or any book that's been printed and bound,
Sure, yeah.
for any kind of reference to Dawn or anything along that line of thinking as a place or something a little more tangible as opposed to a time of the day.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank
better.
you.
That's
Thank
better.
you. Thank you so much. That is a 31.
31.
I'm good at one thing, and that is investigating.
On a 31, you find a mention a few years ago of a ship that had come from Dawn that was foreseen to arrive. It's the only mention that you find, though.
Interesting.
A ship from Dawn.
And I remember, because this was from last session, he told me that he found manifest from the port with ship arrivals and departures.
Though those do not go back as far as when this...
So this is specifically farther back?
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any that are from around this time period, or is this one specifically kind of the odd one out?
What do you mean, exactly?
So, like, she has...
Many of her predictions are about interesting ships that may have been coming in carrying cargo or people or related to events that were either wheels or woes. Searsport being a port town, that is a not insignificant part of what will define how a day goes. So there's quite a few predictions about which you think is why she has shipping manifests.
Is the boat tagged with wheel or woe or any interesting notes?
Wheel.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only... the D in Dawn is capitalized.
The end of the world, and we're gonna defend it on a boat.
It does specifically say from Dawn, as in like that was where it had sailed from before arriving here.
Is there any kind of map?
Yeah, there are maps.
Where is Dawn?
You look and you do not see any location marked with that.
How old are these maps?
You find a number of them. None of them dating back over like 200 years, but within that range. Some far more detailed than others, but I'll say the 31 carries over. You look up and down. There's no mention of...
And I've
any
never
place.
heard of a city named Dawn.
You can make a history check.
I will make a history check. It's not a 1. I'm okay with that. That's an 8 plus 10, 18.
18. A city named Dawn? Nothing's ringing a bell.
No.
Okay, that's new. I will take this opportunity to... you're probably more than 120 feet away by now, right?
Yeah, because she would have teleported down to the base from the teleportation circle.
Yeah.
I don't also have sending. I just have message. So I don't have a way to tell you.
You know that she probably wouldn't have gone far, though.
Yeah.
But with that in mind...
You'll figure it out.
Find the Acolytes.
And there's two of them. A boy and a girl. The girl kind of turns... Oh, you recognize as the two that had been following him beforehand. How did it go?
We have another piece. Are either of you familiar with specifically a place called Dawn? It could be, or any other mentions of it outside of just the general concept of Dawn, but places would be more helpful, but anything would be.
No, nothing is springing to mind specifically. Were you able to get any answers from Rachel?
Unfortunately not.
What happened?
Not sure. Spell failed. Not by any...
They look between each other.
Not... It doesn't seem like it was blocked. I'm not really in...
Maybe there was a problem with the scroll. We can go get another one.
From what Cole said, it's... The Oracle has been through enough and should be allowed to rest in peace. But we are trying to figure out... I was able to contact the Valor Guard and try to discern a location related to what the Oracle might have seen, and I was given location of dawn. It's a vague, cryptic answer. Believe it's a location. It could be the name of a location. It could be a statue, a monument, a temple. It could be something uncharted. It could be a place of a significant battle related to the naming of this age. There's a lot of things, so any information that you can recall, history is not where I am.
What is your passive insight?
22.
22. Elizabeth looks somewhere between contemplative and afraid. Thomas, why don't you go and get another scroll?
No.
Please, just trust me, okay? I have an idea.
You are afraid.
She, holds up a hand, trying not to let Thomas see.
I understand. There is a lot going on.
So, please, I want this to work.
You have lost someone dear.
I guess I'll be back. And he turns to leave.
There's benches nearby.
Yeah.
I go to sit on a bench and gesture for Elizabeth to sit next to me.
She does.
I understand the loss that you feel.
I'm not sure you do.
As a parent, is a lack of guidance that you now have for your life.
She wasn't my mom.
No. But closest you ever had to one?
She was my predecessor.
And now this tower falls to you. And it is a fear of if you will meet the same fate.
Especially because I know that now I have to try. It didn't work. You couldn't ask her what she saw. The only thing I can think to do is to try to see again.
There is a very fine line between courage and sacrifice. And sometimes that line is blurred. And while you think that putting yourself in a position of potential harm, thinking this is the best outcome, the best way to help,
Tell
in
me
doing
something.
that, you leave you set yourself up for death when your job is to continue living.
If you knew that risking your life could save everyone you know, would you do it?
That's a difficult question.
It is. And these are difficult times. And I hope that with your help, maybe it doesn't have to be a sacrifice.
My father used to say that if you must die, leave a legacy that inspires courage in others. And that if you are to leave a legacy, ensure that there are others behind you who can carry on. So, she was your predecessor. Who are you the predecessor to?
We don't know yet.
Then do not let yourself go.
I don't intend to. But I still need to try. This isn't me throwing my life away. It's me doing everything I can.
Give us a day to try and find answers, to try the speak with dead, possibly, though I do not believe that will yield.
It wasn't for her. It's for
Is it-
the worst eventuality. What I very much hope does not happen.
Give us a day before you try to define. We will see what we can find. We will see if there are other means of tracking down these answers, safer means. Because you do not have someone who can carry your legacy yet. And it's important that your legacy is there. It's important that you have a legacy to leave. And you too are not lost.
One day. And as you agree, return once more to the paladins.
Your boys.
You boys.
Hey, it's me, your boy,
Your boys.
Skinny Bones.
Skinny
Well, I don't have one.
boner, if you will.
I
I don't think the mic's picked up on that. But
no, that's okay.
Man, we
I'd
look
rather-
like crazy people right now. Laughing at nothing.
So, the two of you
Yes.
walking through the city. The streets are sparse at this point. It's coming up on 10, maybe 11 p.m. Sky full of stars above you. And you can see the monument to the Queen of Night towering over the city, the black stone glittering with the soft shapes of constellations almost glowing above the stone itself.
Impressive sight, yes.
I suppose.
I'll get you to talk to me eventually, my friend.
You can sense the spear. It's north. Maybe 2,000 feet away. A little under a mile. No, it's like a little under half a mile.
So we're entering Eastern Gate.
You've been walking through the city for a little bit.
Yeah, but we entered through because Searsport's on the east of Maya, right?
Yeah.
So we entered through the west. We gotta go north. Gotcha. Okay.
Well, you would have entered through the south.
Yes.
Yeah, because
okay.
I came
Gotcha.
from south.
That's right. Okay. Roger that. And you'll notice too, as we were walking into the city, Quill's skin became, instead of pale, a little more drawn, became more like flushed. He almost has like more of a ruddy kind of hue, and his hair turned black.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Ah, okay, I know. Okay, cool. I don't think Burke understands, but I understand.
There you go.
So you know that you're honing in. Is there anything that you do?
Oh no, I'm just like periodically updating him. Like, all right, we're getting closer. We're within 3,000 feet. We're within 2,000
Now,
feet.
for a little while there, you had been pursuing, and that you knew that the location was moving.
Mm-hmm.
But you also know now that it stopped.
Cool.
Cool.
It
We can
stopped.
hit him. Burke is a simple-minded man. He is all about just going up and killing that thing immediately.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
you say it stopped, and Quill will go, all right, put his helmet on, and he'll glance over. What weapon are you wearing?
Oh, I have a halberd.
For a halberd.
No,
Oh,
there's a specific reason I need to use this weapon.
you are an enigma.
Correct.
No, that's right.
Yes, I make 0 sense, but that's okay because I'm a skelly man. So
That's right. And Quill's like, all right. He's like, we're probably gonna die anyways. He's like,
I'm already
vibing.
dead.
listen. While you're not wrong, don't sass me.
I'm just stating a fact.
Well, what weapon do you prefer?
Spear and longsword.
Bread and butter.
So, you had probably been walking through the city, no reason to run, especially now that you got someone that with actual stamina with you. So, at this point...
Weak, fleshy
Fella.
man.
Yeah.
Ugh, pathetic.
Now, listen, not all of us are on Mora's doorstep here, okay? Like,
On it, I was in it.
you were past the doorway.
Yep. So I'm just gonna keep getting closer. You know, I'd say about like 500 feet out. We'd probably slow
500
down.
feet out, you notice that you're coming across a large plaza.
Are there a lot of people around here at midnight?
No. At this point, the streets are almost deserted. Like, a couple people are mulling, traveling late at night, but for the most part, the streets are very sparse.
We're in the plaza, so I'll kind of hold out a hand.
You see a figure. A person. Not the being that you know killed you. In white robes, trimmed with what appears to be gold.
God, I hope so. We had more before us. Dang it.
And currently facing away from you. So that's about all you can see.
Does he have this? And you hear it telepathically. Does he have the spear?
And sure enough, in the figure's hand, a long spear that has shrunk, it seems, due to attunement. Magic items change size when you attune to them.
I'll rephrase it. Is that the spear?
It appears so.
The spiraling form of the dragon reaching forward, claw outstretched.
I'm gonna, ready my halberd.
And you notice that currently has the spear pointed upwards, and there is a strange visual of almost like fabric that is being tugged at, pushed through, like if you have a piece of cloth and are stabbing a dagger through it. As you see this crisscrossing energy, a pale white in color, at the tip of the spear as he pushes it further. And it is getting brighter.
Cast Sanctuary on you. Death Ward on myself.
Oh, can you cast it on yourself? Oh, that's cool. I don't think Death Ward does anything for me at this point, does it? Cool.
Yeah.
I can
And then-
prepare that one.
Am I?
I'm gonna cast Shield of
outside
Faith on myself, though.
at this point, or is this while I'm having the conversation?
Just while you're having the conversation. Give or take.
I'm still up in the room.
So, cast those two, and then lastly, I will cast... How many people? Bless on both of us.
Cool.
And that is
Sanctuary,
concentrated.
not concentration? No?
That's
Okay.
handy.
And I don't need spell slots for Sanctuary, so...
Very
Okay.
nice.
Alright, so you cast those 3 spells, easy enough. As you see him, do you get closer?
Oh, yeah. I'm getting
here's how you say
closer.
one rule.
But
No unwanted violence. You have your target. Let's take it out. I'll be your support.
That's not the same
It's not?
target. That's the spear. I don't know who this is.
So it's potential negotiations.
Probably not.
and I'm gonna start walking.
He'll step
towards
right
him.
in line with you.
I would like to. I'm not gonna be stealth. I'm not gonna be able to be stealthy because I have plate armor. So
Yeah.
You
This
can
is
both make a stealth check at disadvantage.
No, I'm not making a stealth check. I already have disadvantage.
So I know, that's what I was saying. Because you're
yeah.
both wearing plate mail, it gives you disadvantage.
Is there any civilian within 60 feet of me?
Yeah, there's probably like a young man kind of just having a drink on the corner.
He's going.
plaza.
He'll hear in his head, "Leave. Get everyone outside of the plaza."
Make a persuasion check or intimidation.
I'll do persuasion. He's a persuasive guy. 26.
26.
Nice.
Can just books it.
Takes a look at the two heavily clad
Yup.
dudes walking towards the guy with the spear. Yeah.
You, as you get closer, you're maybe 200 feet away at this point, hear and you can see him straining as he holds the spear aloft, as the interwoven strands of energy become more and more taut.
Sir, put down the spear.
You barely get a chance to say it before a single strand from that interwoven energy. The man collapses. He uses the spear to help himself stand back up as he turns towards you. And you can see that on his face he has a mask completely made of gold that depicts a blank looking face, like no visible expression, just very
The anonymous
stern.
mask.
A little bit, though. Even the anonymous mask like has a smile. This is just very straight-faced. Your sins come calling.
So much for
Alright.
negotiations.
He's a fanatic.
He's of no use to me.
And I am going to start approaching.
You approach, and the ground beneath your feet begins to shake.
Okay, cool.
Do I feel that?
In the monument across the city, the ground begins to shake.
Where's the nearest window?
You would have teleported down at this point.
Where's the nearest window?
The door.
I go out the door.
Oh, yeah, I feel that and immediately... Hold up. Sprinting in whatever direction I feel a pull.
You don't. You just feel the ground trembling. But you do go outside to join Koltamer. And as the two of you approach, you can see his entire arm with radiant burns across it. Apparently from whatever he had been doing. Let this be a taste of what is to come. And he vanishes.
I want to be there!
I'm gonna cast Locate Creature. Do I know, is he anywhere near me?
You do sense that he is 500 feet north. However, your attention is drawn away from him as a bright light, a star, begins to fall to earth.
Shit. Nope. Nope.
As from across the city, the four of you watch it land just outside the city limits. That is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Can I...
No.
Nope.
No, I want to do something to set up for the next session if I
Sure.
can. As we step out of the tower and we see the star fall outside the city limits, I am casting Summon Draconic Spirit, which lasts for an hour and has a fly speed of 60 feet.
Understood. And we will get to that next time.
So I'm marking that off and making a note.
Thank you very much for joining us, and we will return next time.
We fly!
I know what you did, you bastard. I
Thank you
know
very
what
much.
you did.
Bye-bye!